What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Cousin Cecil Show. I'm your host, Cousin Cecil, a.k.a. Mike Fowler. How are you? How was your week? Did you have a good one? Did you play any new games? Did you read any new comics? Did you happen to, day of recording, did you get to watch the Halo, the series trailer on the AFC Championship game? We'll get into that in a quick moment, but yeah, it's had a pretty good week. I had to work today. This is my usual day off, but I had to work this morning just because of the old. Well, now it feels like the new normal. Someone in my kitchen had COVID, so I just had to pick up their shift and all that stuff. But yeah, it was a good week. I got to play. I got to play the first Mass Effect off the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which we'll get into that real quick. Well, in a second. And then I got to actually, I think we talked about it last week, but I'm up to date with the comic saga, and I have issue 55 at my comic shop. I just have not been able to get over there and pick it up yet. But more touch base on the saga thing because of just being able to say I finished it. That is a very excellent series. And right now, because there is no ending to it, it is right behind the Y the Last Man. I might have said it last week. It might have been over it. But after reading it, and now I'm up to date, and obviously it's not finished, so it was on a 3-year hiatus on such a hanging story that but it is a how do I word it? Each ebb and flow of that series felt like water. Like it just kept going, and it had a flow that it did not ever feel it didn't feel like it was forcing on it. Sometimes it felt like it was it might have left some stuff hanging that you were like, hey, what about, oh, we're already gone and we're already on to the next thing. It's still interesting. But I see why a lot of those comic book creators I talked to had this on a pedestal, and it has to be probably the greatest. Let me back step. It's one of the best independent comics where you don't have, like, it is just him, Brian, and then the lady who draws it working together, thinking of it, and like there's no like middle management going, hey, you got to make sure that this doesn't happen, make sure this doesn't happen, and it is very. And I said it back before finishing it. There are some way over the top, some sexualized spots, like a lot. And it is interesting, and also like at the same time, I'm like, some of these are just like, I think you're doing it just to be risque, but also at the same time, it wasn't the main conflict or goal of the story. So you know what I mean? There's a lot. I would recommend it to a mature teen or adults to read Saga. It is very over the top. And I was kind of surprised at the end of the day about that, but it was a very good read. It was very very interesting. That world is probably best on paper. If you ever seen them say we're going to make a Saga TV show, I don't think you'll make it past. Why the Last Man was pretty grounded in the sense of like, hey, this is a Earth, a disease happened, boom. I think we can pull this off, right? Nope, they didn't. Saga is so over the top about space and like different ideas of aliens and all this stuff. I think it would flop right on their face if they try to make this into a TV/movie. But yeah. I guess sticking with the space stuff, I got to play and finish the first Mass Effect. Finally. Like I've said before, the farthest I've ever been in the games of Mass Effect. This is my first time ever playing the Mass Effects. I got to play like back in the 2000, or not 2000, Xbox 360. I played Mass Effect 1, and I got to basically, I played the first mission, and I don't even remember if I got off the planet. So, that's my idea of sticking to this. But with this Legendary Edition that just came out, it's very fun. And like I said, I'm more shocked after playing it how much Rover, or the Mako, M-A-K-O, Rover, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, missions are in it. And I talked to some people at work who have played it, and they said, yeah, there's a lot of the vehicle missions in the first one. Then the second one comes out, and they had very limited or not at all. I don't know yet. And then apparently, Mass Effect 3, because a lot of the fans were like, hey, bring back the Mako, blah, blah, blah. So they put the Mako back in the third one. So that's, again, somebody telling me. I'm not sure if that is precisely what's going to happen in my playthroughs. But if I had to say about Mass Effect 1, I'm very surprised. I do see the spark, and then what people call the BioWare magic. I don't think it was like that playing it, but hearing everyone, when I say everyone, like YouTube, of course, just reading social media and how people love Mass Effect, I think it definitely helped me push through it. But at the same time, maybe it's also the Legendary Edition is probably the best way to play the Mass Effect 1. I had it on normal difficulty. I had it on auto leveling. When I say auto leveling, it was the idea of like, I was getting, and I get to go onto a screen and like hit the triangle, say auto level, and they kind of put all the stats where you want it. Or if I wanted to, once I understood what I'm doing, I'm like, okay, I'm going to, maybe I'll put my 4 little points of this level into I want a store discount, even though I barely even went to a store. But, the thing I also was kind of surprised was how short the first one is. When I've heard and I've watched, I've seen like this week was like we got the PlayStation wrap ups, and I saw people with the Mass Effect series in their games they played, and they show like 136 hours. I'm like, whoa, and that's obviously probably 3 games, blah blah blah. But I beat the first game in 15-ish hours. Maybe it was a little bit more. I can't remember. But I could have sworn it said 15 on my save files. But yeah, I didn't mind it. I definitely in 2007 probably would have recommended a friend to try it, but I could also see where people get upset because some things I also, besides the rover missions, felt a little like, okay, I'd hate to be on a console or back in the day when everything was in a loading screen. I could only imagine how do people feel playing these big old RPGs back then. One, it does not tell me where, like, okay, I've been picking up all these modifications and upgrades. I didn't know you had to press the square, because I was on PlayStation. I didn't know Square took or let you put shit on like perks and modifications on your suits, guns, and blah 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 until until I almost was like one character away from having a whole roster of like everyone who's supposed to be on your party. They never tell you that. They also never. I don't remember if they had to. No, because it definitely doesn't happen. I think they left out a lot of the instructions and let people be. You feel free to try to scurry through the menus. They should have had it a little bit better hand holding at the beginning, just so that I did not. Yeah, again, I just felt lost in that area, and I feel Mass Effect 1 had a very lackluster UI for the idea of like, okay, you want to go on a planet? Okay, so go when you're on the Normandy, the ship, go up to the world map, and we're going to show you 15 fucking little circles on a fancy looking star of a universe with a bunch of little circles. And we have some names around these circles, so you know what we're kind of telling you where you're going. Okay. Oh. All right, hit the first circle. Now you're going to go into this, which would be here's a little galaxy or solar system. That's the right term. Oh, you want to go to this solar system? No problem. Let's zoom in. Uh-oh, there's 2 more circles with different little clusters of planets. Do you want to go to, and these are 2 ones in particular I was thinking, hey, do you want to go to the Hercules one or the Sparta circle? Be careful. You don't technically know which planet is in these circles until you hit them, and then you have to go through a loading screen of us, quote-unquote, driving the Normandy into the solar system so you can see the planets. Okay, load it up and go through a loading screen. All right, here's a cluster. Here's a solar system with planets around a star or sun. Okay, here's the planets. Oh, which one of these planets I can land on? I don't know. Go through them all until you see the one that says land. Oof, that was a little rough in that sense. It was not, how to word it? It was an inconvenience, but did it really alter my feelings of the full game? No. The story is okay. It's definitely what's really affecting me, because I was a PlayStation gamer, and this is our first time really getting it on the PlayStation. And also, a little spoiler, I started Mass Effect 2, but I'm not going to talk about Mass Effect 2 yet, because I literally, kind of like the same idea. I've only got to do the first 2 missions, and I got to see, I've met the Elusive Man, my 2 new cronies, and I got to meet one of my old team members on a different planet, and like that's as much of the story as I know. But the thing I've also didn't know is what Mass Effect 1 also lacks of you doing is, oh, you just did a mission on the planet, and you guys, even a trophy popped and everything. Fun fact, you can go talk to all your teammates and, get connected, and you can also do, because Mass Effect's infamous about you can do these romances. Mass Effect 1 doesn't really tell you, hey, if you want to go clap some cheeks, go downstairs and talk to your crew. I kind of pushed through. I felt like Chalfie and how he does games. I'm like, by the time I thought about Mackin, I was like, oh, we're only got 3 more missions. Hopefully someone likes me enough so I can get a knuckle in, because I was the female shepherd, before we save the world. Can I get a knuckle in? And also I don't like that that the first game is a patriarch way of looking of lovemaking, so that as a female shepherd, I didn't know this. I'm like, hey, I'm going to go try for this human girl, Ashley, right off the get-go. I'm going to have her in my squad. I thought maybe that's how we're going to get connected and she likes me. Turns out, I can't get her because I'm the girl. And also, hey, Ashley's a little alien racist. But it was tough pickings in this game. But so obviously as the female shepherd, my only love connections I had were the boy and then the blue girl alien that we meet, Laria. Yeah, Laria. And the thing is also the blue alien will get with the boy shepherd because her species basically is like asexual / like, you can get a knuckle in, but we actually breed just thinking of happy thoughts with each other. Like Avatar bullshit. but yeah, I'm very also surprised back to what I was trying to say, what boggled my mind as a PlayStation gamer, Mass Effect, is all this time I've been looking at, like, I didn't know how connected Mass Effect 1 is to Mass Effect 2 in the storyline of it. I've been so used to hearing, like, when the PS3 got Mass Effect 2, and they gave us that fake-ass comic book starting of it. And I've always thought I heard people say, Mass Effect 1, you don't have to play 2, blah, blah, blah. No, this is probably the best way to do it. So you have a connection to even, like, the Citadel. You have connections to even the people you're talking to of, like, old teammates. Because Mass Effect 2, in a non-spoilery way, is, like, basically saying, as Mass Effect, we're getting the band back together. Who's with me? And I think I'm going to enjoy this series a lot more than I was thinking I was going to. I'm looking forward to continuing my playthrough of the series. But yeah, that was basically me. Oh yeah, I mean, if I had to give Mass Effect 1 like out of 5, it's definitely a strong 4. Almost, maybe I'll do like this. If the 360 version might be a 3.5 out of 5, this Legendary Edition is probably a 4 because I can probably understand where people say they have updated even the control scheme and all that shit. But yeah, they could have hit some higher notes with me if they just give me a little bit more hand holding at the beginning. At least show me, hey, you want to go talk to you guys? They're downstairs, but you will not. It doesn't it's just a blink of a moment if you want to go talk to them, then you're done. And then you can go back up to the galaxy map and all that shit. But yeah, Mass Effect 2 seems like it's going to be a lot more. I can already tell by how the fighting is. I think it's going to be a little bit more. It's definitely that it's almost night and day in how the combat is, and I definitely see why people like it more. But yeah, we'll get into that maybe. Hopefully next week I can talk more about Mass Effect 2. But yeah, what's some news? How about that? We'll start off at least the more current news, and we'll stick to a little bit more of the Halo stuff also. But today, Sunday, we just got a trailer for the Halo series that's coming to Paramount Plus, and it's going to come out, I want to say, March 26th. And this trailer revealed kind of, that vague trailer style of the story. Sounds like, in the trailer, we're kind of like, you're trying to understand, yep, we humans have made super soldiers, also, quote unquote, the military's the Spartans, like we've already knew, blah, blah, blah. But the thing it also makes it sound like is Master Chief is controllable, and that's the best part, because obviously he's a super soldier made to blah, 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 take orders. But it seems like, to me, in this small minute trailer, it seems like Master Chief's main motive might turn into like, he's going to have his own free will of thought. But they made it look like Cortana is like their way to control Master Chief in this series, blah, blah, blah. My first thoughts watching in visually is Master Chief, the Spartan suits, and even some of the Covenant. And we only saw I'm trying to remember, make sure I'm saying the right names right. If the Covenant are the ones that actually hold the energy swords, I could be wrong on that. But those aliens, like the main aliens, they look good. A little too good, the Covenant ones. They look a little smoother on their skin than I was expecting. But the Master Chief armor looks great. But everything around it just feels a little cheapy, green screeny, or like it feels like 2002 Sci-Fi Channel TV shows. Like what is it? Here's a good example. Like a good modern Sci-Fi Channel show is Krypton. It doesn't feel like it's like on like in the basement with me in a green screen. It actually feels like it has some production value. Halo looks like it could, but the shots they showed felt very like we only have this much budget and like we had to split some hairs for this show. But just some things it just, and I also do not like to me, it looked like they also put like a human on the Covenant side to be like the antagonist, which I'm like, why'd you do that when there's so many different characters in the Covenant side? Even that, granted, they would be super budgeted aliens, but you knew what you're getting into when you got the product. You know what I'm saying? But time will tell if this is going to be good. If anything, I don't know. I'm being really hesitant on it because I want to say off this first trailer, it does not make me want to get Paramount Plus, but it does make me want to just keep an eye out on review scores for that first season. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, some other things that happened this week, sticking with Halo, this Halo support studio that's been working with them since like even back with Halo 2 map packs. I think it's called. I think the studio's called Certain Affinity. They are also currently like they've been a support studio out of Texas for a lot of companies. But obviously, yeah, they focus been on Halo. They've done Left 4 Dead, some Call of Duty work, all that stuff. They've also been some of like, when you think of like a support studio for Halo in particular, their name might be actually the ones you should give credit to than some other ones. Okay? So, that idea. They are apparently the ones, they are working on a new game mode for Halo Infinite, and people are thinking it's going to be the Battle Royale version of Halo. So, yay. That's kind of cool. I think people were already talking about that before the launch, but now we actually get a little bit more footing that it might be coming true. And the other bigger, kind of cooler news is that same studio is possibly working on a Xbox exclusive of basically they've been, and everyone around it has been calling it this, but a Monster Hunter clone for Xbox/Xbox Game Pass. Apparently it's been possibly been at work or been working on it since last summer, and they are definitely just focusing on. They're just trying to put another cog in the content wheel of Game Pass. And I mean, hey, Epic Studios has that Dauntless game, which is kind of a Monster Hunter-esque, free to play thing. It definitely had there's, and of course, Monster Hunter is so big, and I'm more shocked they said this. They think Monster Hunter is a little too expensive to get a exclusive for Xbox. So I'm like, whoa, that's kind of crazy to hear when Nintendo is they're in bed with Monster Hunter / Capcom about it. PlayStation has obviously Monster Hunter World. So it's kind of crazy to hear a game console developer that just dropped $69 billion on a third-party publisher to say getting an Xbox Monster Hunter exclusive would be too much. I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy. And then, what is it? Some other things I saw, because I think it's going to be a little shorter week. People also saw Cyberpunk 2077's PS5 cover art kind of out in the wild, not like internet wild, not in real physical, but people are saying that might be saying it's going to come out sooner than later, almost imminent. And then also one little side thing, because I don't think we talked about it on the show. Ubisoft has been talking and been one of the more outspoken publishers about NFTs, non-fungible token, and into video games, and where people have been very out, say don't do it, blah blah blah, and then Ubisoft has also done a little bit even more thick-headed thing and said the people are like, well, just don't buy it. I'm like, wow. I mean, they have a point, but also at the same time, read the room. Without knowing that much, I have not even looked into the research of what does a video game NFT do compared to the Bored Ape NFT and all that Yacht Club shit. But I'm assuming, I don't even know what it's going to do. If it goes like the rest of them, it just means you just bought an exclusive DLC map or skin that may or may not get additive value down the road. / it could also decrease in value. / I don't know how much control or how much copy paste people can take that skin from you. So how much is this just a real one thing token? Who knows? But I just more thought it was kind of interesting and thick-headed that the Ubisoft guy goes, well, don't buy it. If you don't have to do it, but we'd like to, because keep our minds open to find different revenue streams for games because they're so expensive, they said. But I'm like, I don't know. I think of hearing some of you guys' quotas, I think you guys are making some plenty of money and maybe you just need to try better. Maybe I don't know. And then also two things that are involving Quantic Dream. One is more just a side comment that Star Wars Eclipse, which is their Quantic Dream style game, has been inspired. They said the story's been inspired by The Last of Us. So I don't know if that means we're gonna play as the enemy or what. But I'm like, okay, cool. What X game has not been influenced by Last of Us now? And then the other thing is apparently, remember the tech demo of that wizard, and it was a Quantic Dream demo for the power of the PS4. Apparently, I saw today that that is going to become a playable moment. I guess it's going to be a playable demo coming out sooner than later somewhere. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then also, because saying Star Wars reminded me, the other big topic is Respawn is carrying the Star Wars franchise and the video game spectrum on their backs, because they just announced that they are the studio that is running not 1, not 2, but 3 new Star Wars games are coming out through Respawn. The first one that we know is Jedi Fallen Order 2 is in production, and I don't want to say it's almost done, but the idea it's in production. It's probably the first one that would come out. And then the second one is a first-person shooter from Respawn in the Star Wars universe. And then the third one is more, they're publishing it, but they have another studio working out the actual development. But they are doing I think it's a strategy game in the Star Wars universe with another game studio. So there's going to be 3 new Star Wars things in the books. Lucasfilm has kind of outspoken, said, yeah, we're working with Respawn for it, and we're excited, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of cool. And then, I guess also, like, some things I wish I could be more, be able to speak about with you guys more, but also, like, it involves money, involves getting more involved with a different ecosystem. But I do wish I could have more thoughts on that Pokemon Arceus Legends. Or is it Pokemon Legends Arceus? Whatever. But you know what I'm saying? I think that seems very cool. I've also heard and seen, like, some of the people are saying this might be the best Pokemon game ever. You know, that's tough. That's a tough pill for me to swallow, of my feelings about that, but no, that is one spectrum of this show I wish I could get more into, is the Nintendo, but I'm sorry, I ain't gonna lie. Shit is expensive. And the idea of, like, hearing people out there like, yeah, I put money in this, I'm playing this, I'm also keep looking at discounts for a PC in my games. I'm like, God damn, you got a lot of money. Ooh, he got money though. Ooh, that shit goes in my head. I think, but that's the one part of this little spectrum of the show, and that's why I try to do those Nintendo indie scenes, because I know they have a strong open to indies, and that's what I love. And I'm hoping those obviously, which they've been lately, but every indie comes to PlayStation, so I have an opportunity to play them too. But yeah, and also, I think it was also a very lackluster February PS Plus games. We're going to get UFC 4, Tiny Tina's Dragon Assault, which was I already technically picked up. And then we're getting the PS5 one is up. We're getting Planet Coaster Console Edition. I'm like, whatever. But yeah. I think that'll be it for the show in that sense. Thank you guys. Hopefully you guys take a step back and listen to that bonus episode. Like I said, and go through the links. You can read that book that I watched. Oh yeah, I guess I'll even do that too, because I do also think it's kind of bullshit that Tennessee school district is banning a comic book about basically called Maus, M-A-U-S, which is definitely about it's about the Holocaust, and for some reason they banned it because of they said foul language and nudity, but the idea of it's basically a characterized version of the Holocaust with mice and cats, and it involves, I think, the author's parents is the story that they're talking about. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? But it goes in that weird way of like, why are you covering up the Holocaust and not help at least just, present it and see the terrible things that happen when one side thought they were better than the other side, another race thing. Like, it's very odd to when a lot of down south governments, a lot of down south districts have been trying to push this idea of like saying like teachers don't have to teach certain areas if it could pertains like white guilt. I'm like, what? If you feel guilty, that means you supported it, in my opinion. And why would you like that? That doesn't make no goddamn sense. So that, the world is going to hell in a handbasket, they say. But one thing hopefully I can do with this fucking show, even though it's a big old cluster run of me just talking my lungs out, is hopefully I can be a little bright side to this crazy ride we're doing. But yeah, this week's hot picks is for music is Johnny P's Caddy from Benny the Butcher and J. Cole. TV, what did I just watch? I will say, because I'm pretty confident I've already said it, so I'm going to do it this way. Check out Demon Slayer, the entertainment saga that's going on right now. Like, Sundays are new episodes, and they're on episode 9. I don't know how long this fight's going to go, but it's been it's way better than it should be, in the sense of, like, Demon Slayer season 1 is really good, but this one is like on like it's going on a different level. It feels like an extended version of the movie, and like it just feels over the top and really well done and very detailed. Art's great. And then if I already said that, why don't you guys go also look at this podcast, Stay Crunchy in Milk, with the internet's Tayrell. I want to say it's 713, his numbers, and him and his gang, and they do a really good show each week. And well, yeah, just want to give him a little shout out. And of course, feels like inside trading, because obviously he's a co-host to Cadillac Mars, and I've obviously been on there and all that fun jazz. But it is what it is, like a gang shit right here. And then for comics, okay, I got my little list. Hold on, let's go down. And then from Aftershock Comics, Dark Red, Where Roads Lead, issue 1. It's a one shot. It's gonna be $7. Whew. And then we'll go down to AWA Studios is gonna have this number 1 called Primos, Primos, number 1 out of 4, coming out this week. Where is it? Nope. Boom Studios, nothing that's new. You know how we do it. And then Dark Horse has Manor Blackfire in the Blood, issue 1 out of 4. And then DC. See if we see anything number 1s. Oh, this week, The Monkey Prince, number 1 of 12. Is going to be a little run of. This will be I think it will be a collector's item. There's a lot of. I've already seen some big buzz on the 1 out of 50 variant of this book, and also there's this cool red envelope, like a homage to like the lunar New Year's celebration in the Chinese culture. It looks really cool. I looked it up, and it's already sold out everywhere. I found a place, but I just couldn't do it. Then let's keep going. That's DC, like Monkey Prince Image. This one called New Masters, number 1. Let's keep going. Mad Cave has Speed Republic, number 1, coming out. Marvel. Fantastic Four, Reckoning War, Alpha 1. So like a new little event going on with Fantastic Four starts this week. And then Sabretooth number 1. Now, Sabretooth number 1, without you knowing, is definitely something I might be interested in picking up, because through this whole time frame of this new House of X, Power of X, little spoiler for this idea, but Sabretooth has been basically in like a prison limbo for a very long time, and now he's released. I'm very interested to see what this story is about with that, because it's going to be involving that all these events of that, and might be really good. Might be the best Saber thing that came out of that Blackhead's head. The Savage Spider-Man, #1. Star Wars, the Holocron Legacy, #1. Excellent. X, the letter, -CELLENT 1. I've heard some good things that people are looking forward to that. And then we'll keep it going. And I want to say, apparently Zenescope has a Grim Spotlight Hellchild 1. It does come out. And that will do it for Hot Picks. And again, thank you very much for listening. If you could, tell a friend about the show and all that stuff. And you guys be good to each other. I'll catch you next week. Peace.